Hello and welcome to Skeindeer. This is not a usual podcast episode. This is the wrap-up video for the Skeindeer Garment KAL of 2021. At last, I got my act together and I will be including a segment that shows all the submitted items. And additionally, I want to show you the winners and what they got in prizes. I've had a lot of prizes donated to me over the years, and I also have had a bunch of things that I have wanted to keep but decided it would make a good prize. And the important things about craft equipment is that we make stuff with it, so there's some of that. I like to have a lot of winners for my KALs, but I also like to give people a lot of different things. So I try to do a kind of a weird combination of both. So I believe we have, if my count is right, 5 winners for 105 entries. So that's a pretty good ratio actually. I think chances of winning aren't too small and not too high. It's good. I like it. I do have 2 things to add before we get into that. One is that I actually have a new pattern. I don't think I'll get around to make a podcast video before that pattern comes out, so I'll just tell you on here. More on that in my newsletter and on my Instagram and then my shop and stuff like that. So the other thing I wanted to add is also if you want to donate prizes for future knit-alongs, because I am running the yellow knit-along of 2022. So if you're a maker of yarn or bags or books or what have you that is knitting or crafting related, that'd be great. You can get in touch with me, probably like message me on, I guess, Ravelry, maybe Instagram, I don't know. I should probably have something set up for that, but hey, here we are. Same thing goes if you are announced a winner. Best way to get in touch with me is to message me on Ravelry, and if that's not a possibility, then there's Instagram. So hopefully that will work out. And yeah, let's get started. I do think I want to start with the coolest prize. The prizes are quite different and there isn't really a huge rhyme or reason to that. Just kind of what sort of made sense and seemed like a good combination of things. But I do feel like this is all very, I don't know, fitting, if you will. Now, I don't have perfect recollection of all the prizes I've ever had, but I'm pretty sure this is the biggest prize that I've had because it is a bunch of yarn from Stitch and Story. So this is the yarn. Here they are. So Stitch and Story is an absolutely lovely company. I believe they're based in London. And they had like an event that was like round the corner from my house, and I just happened to be like incidentally invited by a friend there, and we went and they wanted to give me this yarn and I could use that for giveaway. I was like, yeah, awesome. So this is their 100% merino wool. They come in 100-gram balls. And there's 65 meters on these. So I'm like, well, how much do you need to make a garment? The other prices can't really compare to this. Obviously, this was very hard to match, but this is the amount, which I reckon is a sweater quantity. It might actually be 2 sweater quantities because it is chunky and it is a lot of yarn. Did I mention these are 100 grams each? So sort of depending on how tight you want to knit them, or what have you. And I love this color. I am very close to wanting to keep this all to myself, but I was like, no, this is too good of a knit-along prize to pass up. So that's that. It's really lovely. It's soft. It's I'm pretty sure it's non-superwash. I'm not feeling any superwash from feeling it. It might be, but it does not say, and I normally expect superwash to be written. So yeah, just want to give you a close-up of the color as well. Oh, it kind of blew out now, but it's a lovely navy blue. This is like perfect Marius shade if you're wondering. Let me actually compare. I happen to have a Marius here, so it's, you know, it's bang on. I did draw a winner for this, and yeah, it's no wonder this winner won because they had 5 entries. So that really amps up your chances. If you don't know, the only rule kind of in my knit-along is that you make any of my garment, and the number of garments is the number of entries, and this person had made 5 projects. So first, a Skeindeer pullover, which is one of my favorite designs that I made last year. Am I allowed to keep favorites of my own? I don't know, but I really like wearing it. It's just, yeah, very proud of it. I like how I managed to kind of sort of strip it down from the initial cardigan. Now, speaking of cardigan, she also made 2 cardigans, 2 host cardigans to be specific. Yeah, 2, which makes me want to have 2. But yeah, amazing. And also made a pure false pullover and a librarian vest. Vest, that's the word. So that is pretty deserving. I think that feels right to me. So the winner is Perlita 42. So Perlita 42, if I pronounce that right, it will always be written here because I can't say anything right, can I? Really, I mean, I am juggling 2 languages most days, so. And now for the second winner, I have combined a couple of things here that I thought was a kind of interesting combination. So Stitch and Story also have given this cross-stitch kit. I haven't actually dabbled into cross-stitch myself, but something I've really been wanting to for a while. You know, like those hoops that you like cross-stitch stuff onto. But I have chosen to part with my cross-stitch kits as well for the knit along. There's like so many things I'm like, oh, I want to keep it. I'm like putting them all in the knit along giveaway bag. So enjoy this. And I'll just have to find my path to cross-stitch another way. But that's not all. There was also 2 skeins added, and that is by Julie Aslin. So there is this is the Nurtured yarn. I believe that's the yarn that Andrew Murray used for the Nurtured pullover. It needs to be made into something beautiful. So yeah, perfectly pristine skeins here. Different labels for some reason, but it is the same yarn. Colorway is Cortez on the yellow, and Brocade 2 on this sort of dusty purple burgundy. I love these colors. These are very much up in my color palette. That's the word. The yarn has 118 meters, that is 130 yards, and each skein is actually 56 grams. So that's 2 also, what is that, ounces. I knew that. I'm actually not seeing any mention of the yarn weight, but my estimate would probably be worsted. I seem to remember they were classing it as Aran. I'd say worsted. Could even be a DK, but I would just bang on worsted. Could be some lovely mittens. Now, because of this winner that was drawn, who had made this really awesome pullover, I believe that she did the pullover version in like these really cool colors. This is why I love when people modify my patterns. So this is the Hullo guide that they use the colors, and I believe it was like corrugated rape. I don't actually have the photo here when I'm talking to you. It's like added later, so I'm going by memory. So I decided to add something else simply because I am an absolute shade card hoarder. I love them. I have shade cards all over my walls here. I should really have that as the background, but the sun is really never quite right for that here. There's a northern window over there that doesn't really. I happen to have 2 shade cards of John Albin's Knit by Number yarn, and that is honestly something you need, because the Knit by Number yarn is just a lot of colorways that are very subtle gradients, so you need to know like exactly which color you need. And so it's really good to actually have the shade cards so you can like, oh yeah, which exact shade of green do I need, because I don't need 2, and this was the one that I've like kept in the best condition, so I thought I'll add that. So it's literally, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 shade cards with like yarn coming out of both sides. I think it's comprehensive. They do keep adding colors, but yeah. So that's the full all sort of set here. And the winner, I mean, I've already showed the thing, so I mean, should know, but now you know, is, oh, the pronunciation, ouch, J.S. Smultron. Smultron? J. Smultron? Don't... I tried. Please do get in touch and I will have this sent out to you, and thanks so much for taking part. Yeah, let's get to the third winner of this knit along. So I did actually have 2 cross stitch kits I should say, from Stitch and Story. This is the other one that I have. It does actually say on the back what it includes. I should probably mention that. They include the hoop and the fabric and the floss, which is Stitch and Story's floss, cross stitch needle, easy to follow instructions, access to online tutorials. So I might have to get my mitts on these myself actually. And yeah, so that's one thing that I decided to add. I also added a skein from Stitch and Story. I was actually really excited about this skein, which I know doesn't quite sound like me because this is actually an acrylic blend. It is acrylic and cotton. But if I feel this skein, first of all, I hate to admit that it feels nice, but it also feels a lot like stuffed animals. Like my nephew has like the softest stuffed animals these days, and I thought, oh, I will do this. I will make a stuffed animal for him But again, you need to put stuff in the prices. So this is, I would highly, highly recommend to do something like that, because I think when you want to use something as acrylic, I think more about those things. So if you forget that outside, it's, you know, the moths aren't going to eat it, that's for sure. So I would definitely use it for that. And there's a really nice subtle grey colour. I really like this grey. I mean, I like most greys, but you know, this is a good cool one. I added another skein as well. This one's quite fancy. The only reason I can't part with this is because I have a lot of wool mice in my stash. So I'm parting with this beautifully vibrant, variegated wool mice skein. Oh, is this the sock? Yes, this is the 80/20 wool and nylon blend, and it has 150 grams. This is a whole 150 grams, because it says that per 100 grams it's got 311 meters. That's 340 yards. I'm just gonna go with that, 0.66 meters. So this is gonna make quite a few socks, honestly. You could probably get 2 pairs out of these at least. There's a final thing I added to this giveaway price as well, and I do feel a little bit guilty because I kept all of this in a particular like tote bag for giveaways. I had it all in one place and it did get a little bit bent, and for that I'm sorry. It is the last copy I have left to give away. Stick med gradiente. Now I made sure that this, among the people who randomly won, would be allocated to the one who can't read Norwegian. So you can hopefully, you know, get through all these patterns. I hope you don't have this already. I mean, I do hope you have it already, because it's good, but I kind of hope you don't, because then, you know, because I did get quite a few copies of this to give away, and I ended up being left with a couple of copies simply because people had already bought it. And so, you know, I forgot to mention I have a pattern in here as well. So that's one, but there's so many other really, really cool patterns in here. I mean, there is a skirt. Oh, this shawl. I want to make this shawl. She makes really cool shawl patterns, honestly. And this is like pelt wool stuff or lamb's wool. It's all Hillesvåg yarn. So I'll add that. That's it. That's what's being given here too. Someone who also did 3 things. So yeah, that feels, again, very deserving. You know, the more entries, obviously, the more likely you are to be picked. So, and I want to talk about, you know, what Lille Lislina, thank goodness I can pronounce Norwegian. Lille Lislina have made a really, oh my god, I love this. This is a pastel striped pure fuzz. I mean, the color choice here, it is so cute. I would wear this simply just to look like a walking cotton candy. I just wanna, it looks like this like foam sweets, you know, the ones that are like swirly and like, oh, it just makes me happy. It just feels like all things sweet and lovely, and I love it. There's also, I can't read, I have written 2 things. So if you made 3 things, actually I haven't written that down, I wrote 2. So there's another one, which is kosekofta, which it's so beautiful. Oh my days. I saw this when it was posted on Instagram as well, and I was tagged in it, and I'm like, yeah, no, yeah. So hope you will enjoy this. Congrats, and thank you so much for taking part. Your projects are gorgeous. So we're on to the 4th out of 5 prizes now, and I get to show you some more really cool things that I have been given over the years. This is, trying to avoid the crinkling. You remember that, have people stopped wrapping stuff in crinkly stuff? Because crinkling was a theme for a few years. This is S-twist wool. I got a few of these kits back when, and I think this is maybe the last one to go. This is gorgeous Irish yarn, and getting hold of like proper full-on Irish yarn is actually, I keep forgetting this story. I remember Grace of Babel's Traveling, I was talking about this, like just like how, you know, there's this whole project of like reviving Irish wool industry that has kind of like not been a thing for a while, and I'm just like, yes. So there are 4 absolutely amazing colorways. I love each and every one of these and how they go together, and would highly recommend for mittens, by the way. I mean, that kind of goes without saying for me. So they're 300 meters per 100 grams, and I do believe, no, this totals to a bit more than 100 grams. It says 120 in total, so each of these skeins are 30 grams. But yeah, that's S-twist wool. I also wanted to add another kit because it seemed like to be a bit of a common theme with a lot of these prices, to include something that is a little bit outside of knitting, so that, you know, we get to dabble in other crafts. And this one is so cute and so fitting, being donated from the Skeindeer podcast. I can't even tell you. It's so cute. And it is a punch needle kit where you make a deer. I was kind of worried for a bit there, maybe this is considered more festive, but I am an every season kind of deer. So I hope you want to make an every season kind of deer. This is sort of what it will look like. It's so cute, and it includes everything that you will need. It's like antler hoops, the needle punch thing, which kind of want to keep. No, we're not have too many things as is. And yeah, the yarn, there's like even like a thing that sort of traced the face. It is so cute. It's another craft I really need to get into. And finally, I wanted to add this copy of the Lopapesa. I always want to make sure I say that right. So this is a book that basically has, in a way, made a recipe book of all the sort of Istex, Veris Jonsdottir kind of Icelandic yoke. So you can basically mix and match all these patterns that already exist in a sort of like DIY sort of thing. It's so cool. I actually had to get off my chair just now to check that I'm not giving away my copy, that this is another one, and it is, because it's obviously not opened. Mine is over there, and I am not giving that one away. They are the same. I'm just saying I want one for me, because it's a really, really cool book. And so yeah, that's that. Pretty good giveaway price there as well. The winner there is someone who made the librarian pullovers, and the winner is Nanya H. Nanya H. So if you want to message me as well, I will have this shipped out to you. Now, I did initially only have 4 prices, and I thought, I just think 5 is a good number. Don't ask me why, because I don't know, I'm partial to even numbers, but I thought let's do a big like kind of woolly wool kind of collection. I don't know. I mean, we've done the sweater quantity one already, so I can't really beat that one. But I got a few colours together of stuff that are both in the kind of giveaway bag. And I don't want to give it away though. It's so nice. And some stuff in stash that I thought would go well with it that I don't have any plans for. So I thought that should go out there, even though I don't know how I will get my mitts on this yarn if I ever change my mind. So we're just trying not to think about that. But anyway, so these are 2 skeins that I was given for giveaway purposes. And this is Estonian wool, which it's hard to give away, that's all I'm saying. But it was, given to me to give away. So that is what I'm doing. So let's do a close-up. This is it's all Estonian, 100 grams, 350 meters. And it's like in this sort of like wrapped up hank. It's just really cute. I don't know why the labels are different, because it is the same yarn. I have that on very good authority. It's so nice. I don't know how to get my mitts on this yarn again. So I really, look at that. Oh, I should have a shawl in that. No. So in addition to these 2 skeins, I looked for something in my stash that would go really well with them. And this yarn is very, very similar to yarns like Finul. So I'm like, yeah, well. And so I got 4 skeins together. And these, and I just like the palette here is so cool. I just really like this. It's something like kind of spring like, which seems quite fitting. And the winner of that is someone who made 3 gorgeous items that I haven't written down. Let's see if I can go by memory. I didn't write it down. That was not good. I know she made the librarian vest, so I'll put that here. Come on, memory. Oh, I remember. She did 2 versions of the original Utra, and the second one is so cool. It's got like an Utra Satistar mix, which is just awesome, because like Utra was derived from the Satistar. So that was really, really awesome. And so again, very well deserving. You seem like someone who would enjoy this kind of yarn, so I'm very happy about that as well. And that is Offbeat Knits. And yeah, congratulations. Get in touch to get your prices. And when I say get in touch, I mean send me your address, I can send it. That's if I didn't say that already for everyone else. I made it to the end. So that means we can look at thanks to everyone for participating. Like I said in the beginning, if you want to donate prizes, do get in touch. And if you want to take part again, same rules as last year. We're gonna just carry on with the fun, because I just, yeah, that made my year, honestly. It was amazing. I mean, my PhD, finishing my PhD also, but that too, having that like happening in the background made me so happy. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.